What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So I've already said in the past, 2023 is going to be a very big year for Lucid, especially more so around the peer and the massive demand around that. But I want to talk on with Tesla recently struggling as much as they are. This might be a very good opportunity for Lucid to take advantage and take some market share from Tesla. So I'm going to break it down what I mean by all of that. Before I get into any of that though, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So when it comes down to it, I think we already know that Tesla does have a pretty significant amount of market share in the US and just globally. So Tesla right now does have roughly about 68% of the US market. And again, as of late, Tesla has been struggling ever since basically China has been having a lot of shutdowns and things like that. I personally feel that has not really been factored into Tesla's price fully as far as through earnings and things like that. So when it comes to light, that might cause Tesla to go down even further than what it is. And right now Tesla is in a little bit more of a spiral, and even more so it does look like Tesla is also falling out of favor based on a lot of surveys. So once again, when there is opportunity, this is when you can strike. Of course, when it comes to Lucid, you need to be able to produce the vehicle. And based on Bear's Workshop, the latest flyovers, it goes to show that most likely we are at around 500 vehicles a week. So a huge bump up, even more so from our Q3 earnings. We were at around 300. That's what Lucid was very much boasting about, 300 vehicles a week. So the fact is that if we are very much at 500 a week, we can definitely produce a ton of vehicles and be able to take a lot of market share away from Lucid. Especially the market more so as well really wants a lower price vehicle. And guess what? The peer is our answer. So around 87,000, and again, that is a huge accomplishment. So it has all the necessary technology, so we do have that tech advantage right now. And with Lucid ramping up on our production, we are able to most likely take at least some market share away from Tesla, especially a lot of companies have already said by 2025 they're going to be having a lower priced vehicle. So the fact that Lucid can actually take advantage of our technology and us ramping up right now, and also the fact that Tesla is struggling, we can take advantage of all of that and capitalize. And as well, to piggyback off of that, the states have committed to a lot of charging stations. So really making the overall infrastructure very advantageous for EV makers. So Lucid will be able to have all of those kind of range anxiety out of the way, because of course when people think of Lucid, they think of obviously the Dream Edition, which has a huge amount of range, but the Peer is a little bit more of a different vehicle. Of course, it's scaled back a little bit, so you potentially might still have that range anxiety. So it does have 653 kilometers of range, so that might not be ideal for a lot of individuals, majority of which I'm sure would be perfectly happy with that, and also the technology. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But I think 2023, like I said, is going to be a very big year because the Peer is going to be really dominating that. Also, the Sapphire is going to be coming out. I know some people are very mixed on the Sapphire versus Peer. I'm one of those individuals that is very much focused on the lower price vehicle versus the higher end. Some people start talking on profit margins, but based on Google searches and things like that, it looks like higher price vehicles such as the Sapphire have roughly about 18% profit margins versus the Peer has around 14%. So not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. And even more so, not enough to justify really focusing so much resources on developing the Peer. So my own interpretation, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But when it comes to it though, I think, like I said, the Peer is going to be a very big deal and hopefully be able to take market share directly just from Tesla, just in among itself. So let me know your thoughts on that. Even more so, I just want to show you this quick chart right here. This is Tesla's revenue. So imagine if Lucid is able to take market share directly from Tesla this early on. Keep in mind, I think a lot of people seem to forget that Lucid is in its first year of production. So the fact that we've accomplished so much in so little time is actually a very big deal. And even a lot of people are saying that Lucid is going to file bankruptcy and things like that. I personally disagree, and I've already done a lot of videos on how I disagree and why I do that. But again, I could be wrong. But when it comes to it though, I've really been monitoring the dark pool transactions and secondary market. It has died down over the last roughly about 3 weeks, give or take, but keep in mind there was a lot of fear during that time frame. It does look like big money is starting to get back in. So there's a couple of big transactions I do want to share with you. This is all the transactions from the secondary market. Keep in mind, secondary market is what you and I trade on. So typical retail investors, anything over $100,000 is listed here. But even if 100,000 isn't enough for you, there's a couple big transactions. So $7.03 million and also 1.94 million. So the fact that those two transactions are on the secondary market, that is very, very abnormal. You do not typically see that. And this is all the transactions from the dark pool. So once again, typically the dark pool is used for most likely shorts, and they're obviously making new positions, closing out positions, things like that. But it's still very good to monitor exactly what is happening there. And outside of that though, I'm a very big fan of the technicals, and we're very oversold. So looking at stochastic, we are currently at 11, so massively oversold. RSI is mimicking the exact same thing. Momentum number, retail investors are starting to get back in, so that's always a very positive sign. And on the actual chart, for the most part, we're in a little bit more no man's land, but I think that's just the broader market and us piggybacking off of Tesla. And keep in mind though, you have to factor in that whatever's happening with the stock price does not mean it's coinciding with operations. Clearly, based on Bear's workshop, operations is really kicking ass. It's really doing a lot of good things. Whereas clearly looking at the stock price, we've just gone down, plain and simple. So again, you have to distinguish the difference between the two. But regardless of all that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With all that said though, I really appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.